Hey everybody, it's Ozone. Welcome back to another episode from the Dynasty SMP, where we're playing with Chosen's Modded Adventure modpack. As you can see, I've been a little busy in between episodes getting things set up. I added a lot more storage right here, as well as a few quality of life things here. But more importantly, I've been doing a lot of digging and a lot of resource gathering. Oh, and I also put in some windows. Additionally, I've been doing a lot of trading in this trading hall area that Magpie set up for everybody. We have all of the librarians and all of the books available over here, or well, all of the important ones. And over here, we have all of the ways that we can generate emeralds with traders for farm goods and iron and little Fletcher guys over here for sticks. So it's a really, really great setup. And I believe everybody has been using it quite a bit. I've got my gear really decked out. So let's get all that on. And I'm looking really, really spiffy, along with my backpack that I've upgraded more than a couple times. It's now a diamond backpack with all of these upgrades, and that means that I can store quite a bit. I can go on a very long mining excursion, get lots and lots of resources, and bring it all home, which is very difficult in vanilla Minecraft. And speaking of digging, all of that has been done right here. This is where I got all of the azurite that I used on my house, and we've got a pretty big vein of it here. But I found some really interesting things down underneath. Basically, I made this tunnel go all the way down to bedrock, and looky here, we've got ourselves a geode. Well, it's an ore ode, they call it, and this ore is a zinc geode cluster. So it's basically an amethyst geode, except it grows zinc crystals, and those zinc crystals then can be smelted down into zinc, which is something that Create uses a lot of. And so I feel like this is the game telling me that I should be doing some Create. I mean, it's just too convenient to have an infinitely renewable source of zinc. So we're going to be doing a lot of brass making, I guess, with Create, but that'll have to be a future on down the road. We got a little bit of infrastructure to get first. But anyway, down here in the bottom of the world, I've been doing a little bit of digging around and grinding for resources, but I found a spawner. I found a spider spawner. No, I found a skeleton spawner. And these things can be picked up if I had Silk Touch. I don't yet, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing with it, but I'm glad that I was able to find this. Oh, and speaking of mining, I've got a magnet that obviously picks everything up, makes it so much more convenient. But then I've also got this lucky rock. As you do different things, you get different charms. Like trading with villagers can give you a trading discount certificate, and sleeping in a bed can give you a dream catcher. And these things do different things for you. The lucky rock says it gives me a 47% efficiency bonus. I mean, that sounds huge, getting more efficient, but also a 4% chance of extra loot while mining. Well, it means that anytime you mine any block, you have a 4% chance of getting something valuable, some kind of ore. That can be gold ore, that can be diamonds, that can be coal, or whatever. Better yet, if you're in the nether, that can be quartz or even netherite. Netherite scrap, that is. So it's pretty amazing. So just mining, I'm going to do this 3x3 tunnel. Boom, there it all goes. And when we look at the backpack, I got another lucky rock, and I got some raw iron and some raw silver and a piece of copper. And there really wasn't any copper in this area, so that was all just given to me by the lucky rock. So as you can see, getting a bunch of resources is pretty easy in this mod pack. The charms help out a lot, and there is a wide variety of them. I don't think I have all of them, not by a long shot. These are the charms that I've been able to collect so far. Anytime you break a tool, you get these tool scraps, and they give you a chance of not losing durability. And the general gist with these is that there's always an efficiency modifier as well. Like in this case, it's not a very good one with a minus 19% efficiency, but a relatively high 8% chance of not losing durability. I've got one here that gives me a 9% chance of not losing durability with a minus 9% efficiency, and I think that's worth it since I'm getting such a high efficiency bonus over here. And I'm getting a really good extra chance of loot too. But as you can see, I've gotten a whole lot of lucky rocks from all of the mining that I've been doing. These are all the trade vouchers, and as you can see, I've gotten a lot of them from all the trading that I've been doing as well. But most of these charms share the same two slots. There's a right pocket and a left pocket slot, and that's where most everything else goes. I really haven't figured out what to put in all of these other slots, unfortunately. But, we're having fun exploring the pack, and I'm sure that will be revealed in due time. My storage has also been significantly upgraded here with a bunch of these gold barrels, giving me a lot more storage, and a bunch of these iron barrels, giving me a little less storage. But regardless, I'm really happy with the progress that I've made so far. And the botany pots are just producing lots and lots of resources, which is exactly what they are supposed to be doing. But storage is still a problem in that I know there are better ways of doing this. We have refined storage, which gives us a terminal that would make everything so much easier in that I don't have to go digging through all of these barrels and chests to find the stuff. And so that's the number one goal for today is I want to get a better storage system in place. Now, part of digging out things is I made myself another room down here underneath where I can put a lot of the machinery and keep it hidden and out of the way from the main floor upstairs. And that's where I'm going to be doing a lot of work, I think, today in this episode. But what kind of storage system am I going for? And the answer to that is I'm not terribly sure. We have a number of options in this mod pack. Refined storage, applied energistics, but then there's also integrated dynamics, there's Ars Nouveau, simple storage, drawers. There's just so much. And deciding what to do is kind of a big problem because I run into analysis paralysis so easy. Part of me says, oh, I understand refined storage. Let's just go with refined storage. But part of me also says, no, there are other options. We should explore and learn some of those other options. And so I'm torn, but I will absolutely be getting into that really soon in this episode. One of the unfortunate things about the early game is that I'm actually still using three different tools: an axe, a pickaxe, and a shovel. And we know from Vault Hunters that paxels exist, but they aren't called a paxel in this mod pack. So it took a little bit of time to figure out just what it is that we need. And instead, it's called a mattock. The stone mattock is pretty easy to make here, but I think the one that I want to focus on is the obsidian one. Just a little bit of quartz and obsidian. The bigger one is this netherite one, and that looks, well, it's netherite. And while I have been to the nether, I don't have very much in the way of netherite. Now, I think this obsidian one is going to work just fine, so let's get this created up. Unfortunately, I do need to get it all enchanted up, so that means a lot more time with villagers. Oh, and that also means I really want to get an elevator created to go down to the mines. That just seems like so much easier than the big old ladder. Because, yep, elevator blocks exist in this game, too. Ender pearl and wool. All right, pretty much easy enough to do. Don't have a ton of wool, but 4 elevator blocks, I'll take it. And I think I'm going to put this one right next to here because I kind of want to be able to go down and stop at the different floors as well. I definitely want to keep the ladder in here, but I should be able to. Yep, work that way. So let's go down to the bottom and put all the elevators in. Oh, and I'm also going to put one in right here, too. Yes. Seems like a good idea. There we go. Boop, boop. Yay! Oh, that is so much faster and easier than the big old ladder. Like I said, I want to keep it just in case, but from here on out, it's all about the elevators. Another really great thing about all the enchants that we have is that there's a block reach enchant, which I've been able to put onto most of my pieces of gear. I kind of ran out of levels on the helmet, but that means that your reach is so far away. Look at that. So far away. But while it is beneficial, it can also be really dangerous too. Yeah, it's just crazy how far you can go. Additionally, we've got these books of life mending that is able to go on pretty much anything. This basically uses the hearts that you would receive from your own regeneration after eating food to instead mend your gear. And again, I haven't been able to put it onto my gear, but that seems like crazy overpowered. I mean, just eating stuff and repairing your gear, I've got to try it out. So with my brand new Mattock, let's get everything on there. And by the way, you can have both life mending and mending. Think it's worth a try? I do. So to the mines we go. Now by default, the Mattock will automatically do a 3x3 thing. So I don't have to actually be vein mining to have the Mattock do its thing automatically. Have the Mattock do its thing automatically. Diamonds! Very useful. Very nice. So easy to just go and mine. Which is the whole point of this, isn't it? It's Minecraft. And as you can see, the magnet is just pulling everything right on into my pack. And unlike Vault Hunters, these magnets don't have durability. It's just gonna work forever. I could probably get better magnets, but this one is working just fine. So now the Mattock has taken some durability. Let's see what happens when I... how do we do the life mending on it, I wonder? I guess I have to take a little bit of damage, maybe. And then I'll substitute the healing of that. So let's dip my toe into the lava. Okay. Take some damage. Eat some food. Come on, I don't want to die. Oh, there we go. See, the Mattock is being healed up now. Apparently. Yes. So instead of healing myself, yes, the Mattock is mended up. Very interesting. If you get into a pinch, that could really be a problem. I'm not sure how much I like that, but it's a very interesting mechanic. Another nice thing, of course, about the Mattock is that it works on diggable items just as much as pickable items, right? I mean, I'm just plowing through all of this gravel very, very easily. Does it work on wood? Honestly, I'm not too sure. Let's go find out. I had found this large abandoned mine shaft here. Lots of resources, lots of mobs. Looks like we probably got a spawner up there, but what we're after right now is trying to figure out, does it work on wood? No. It is just a shovel and a pickaxe, which is useful, but not as useful as a full paxel. So I'm going to have to figure out, is there a paxel in this mod pack? And honestly, I don't know the answer to that just yet. But the Mattock is definitely a nicer thing to have than a separate pickaxe and shovel. So I'll take that at the very least. And once we get back from a mining session, look at the immense amount of materials. All this cobbled deep slate is probably just going straight on into the trash can. But we got a whole bunch of diamonds, and this is a lot more diamonds than I found. I don't really know that I went through any lapis while I was mining, so this most, if not all of this lapis is from the Lucky Rock. So yeah, with all of the backpack and the stack upgrades and the compacting and the magnet, and it's just so convenient. Much better than vanilla Minecraft, to be sure. But while I do have a lot of storage in my backpack, I've run out of storage in my chest for stones. I've got a lot of other chests, but I really want to keep them all here. So one of the nice things about the sophisticated barrels is that they have upgrade slots here, and we can add stack upgrades to the barrels, just like we can add stack upgrades to drawers and to the sophisticated backpacks. So I think it's time to do that. I've got a lot of stuff here that should be able to be condensed. These things are just so cheap. It's surprising. 5 planks and 4 iron. Oh, with the iron farm, I mean, I've got tons of iron. And with the botany pots upstairs, I got tons of planks. Yep, that should be enough. All right, so logs. Oh, we got tons of logs. Boom. Tier 1. What do we need for tier 2? Copper. I've got a good amount of copper. Okay, maybe not as much as I had hoped. This will pretty much wipe me out. Do I need 11 of these upgrades? I was just kind of doing some kind of random number, but I guess so. What do we need for this? Iron and lots of it. Well, that is easy. Oh. If I'd started with the basic upgrade and skipped all the copper, I could have just used more iron to get it done, and I would have much preferred that. But, okay. Dang it. Well, now what do we have? Gold. And gold is the one thing that I feel like I have less of, you know? I mean, I've got three in some stacks, but iron is infinitely renewable, and a lot of the other things are infinitely renewable. Gold, well, you just got to go dig for it. But I think these iron upgrades will be sufficient. Okay, well, I can only use two upgrades. Oh well. But now I have room for all of the materials that I brought back from my mining expedition in the barrel here, and room for a whole lot more. Is it the most efficient? No, no, it's really not. But oh well, what can you do? All we can do is give things a try, and we live and learn. And that's what happens when you don't like do a lot of research before jumping into these mods, right? That's, you pay the stupid tax. Wow, that condensed down so much cleaner. We can fit so much more stuff in now. But it doesn't help with the crafting and the automated storage system, so we need that terminal, or at least some kind of terminal. Well, it's the next day in real life, and I've had a chance to think about what I want to do for my storage system, and I've come up with a conclusion. The conclusion is a combination of the sophisticated storage barrels behind me, as well as the integrated dynamics for the terminal access. Sophisticated storage itself doesn't actually provide any terminal access, it just provides this controller, which is going to be similar to the drawers controller. As part of integrated dynamics, these integrated terminals provide a storage terminal and a crafting terminal, which is what we really want, but they don't provide any storage. So it seems like a pretty good combination for the two mods. And what I like a lot is that it doesn't require any power. This mod pack does have refined storage and a whole bunch of power generators, but that's just one more step that I'd like to skip for the moment. So the fact that it doesn't take any power gives integrated dynamics a real plus. Now, I've used integrated dynamics in the past. It's been quite a long time, and I had to watch a video on how to do it again. But it'll be really interesting to get it going. The first thing that we can do, though, is get all of the storage set up with all of the barrels. And I went ahead and crafted a whole bunch of stuff. 64 of these iron barrels, and because an iron barrel can have two stack upgrades, I've made 2 stacks of these tier 2 stack upgrades. And so that's basically 64 double chests where each slot in the chest can hold 1,024 items. I think that will be quite enough storage. Well, probably for the entire playthrough. If I ever run out of storage, I guess I'll just make some more, but that's highly unlikely in my estimation. So let's grab all these things up and might as well grab the others while I'm at it and head downstairs, get it set up. This box of a room is very ugly, and I think it will work just fine as a mass storage holding facility. So these boxes can just go down in a giant row like this. And basically, as far as sophisticated storage goes, they just need to be touching, which is going to make things a lot easier. Huh. I totally didn't plan it, but that's almost a full stack of barrels just on that one wall. So it really shouldn't interfere with the space in this room too much. Funny. All right, well, let's get all these upgrades in. All right, we're looking good here. I went ahead and stuck the controller right in the middle of that wall. And then we've got just a few other barrels coming up along the side here, ready to start filling in the next layer of the wall. I do need to have cables going in and out of this, so at some point, if this ever does fill in more, the cables will just kind of be running here in front of all the barrels. But again, because they are connected all together, touching one another, it should access everything just fine once we get the integrated dynamics terminal in place anyway. And that's going to be the next step. Now, integrated dynamics is kind of weird in how you get started. Most mods rely on a single type of block for something that they add to the game, and in a lot of cases, that is an ore that you have to go mine underground. But not so with integrated dynamics. It is the lowly mineral tree right here, which is why I grabbed one of those things and stuck it in a botany pot so that we can have lots of these mineral logs. The mineral berries are just a good source of food, but what we're really after are the mineral logs. And so what do we do with them? Well, if we look at the uses here in the JEI, there is a thing called a squeezer. You put the log in and you get mineral resin. Once you get the resin, then what do we do with that? Well, we use a drying basin, and that's where we get the crystallized blocks of mineral resin. And those can then be decrafted into the crystallized chunks. There we go, right here, this recipe. And this crystallized mineral chunk, which you can get from just chopping down a tree sometimes, is the main ingredient that you use for a lot of these crafting recipes. So we're going to start with that. I need to make a squeezer. A block of iron. Okay, easy peasy. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, the squeezer is a very weird thing. Oh, I do also have a drying basin right here. There's a neat trick with the drying basin, too. You take some rotten flesh, which we get lots and lots and lots of, and the drying basin turns it into leather. So we have a nice, easy source of leather right here with the drying basin. But for right now, I need to put that next to the squeezer, because when the squeezer squeezes the log, it's going to send the liquid resin out one of these two sides here, one of these two channels. So I'm just going to put it right here for right now, stick the log in there, and it does nothing because nothing is doing the squeezing. It's a manual squeezing process. Think old-timey wine production. We got to jump on there and jump and jump and jump. And it's slowly going down. Yep. Now, of course, this can be automated later on, but for right now, this is how we got to get started. Boom. There we go. Drying bucket full of liquid resin. Wait a little bit. And we got our block of crystallized resin. And now we've got a whole bunch of crystal chunks. All right. Well, now we got to get the squeezer back up. And any old redstone signal should do just fine. So there we go. Back up. Stick another log in there and start jumping once again. I don't know how much of this we'll need, but I'm going to make a little bit up and we'll come back in a minute. I got about a dozen of these blocks now, so it's time to start making some of the other things. The terminal is where we're going to be accessing all the storage from, but we need that as well as cables and an interface. This item interface is what hooks up to our block of item storage down below, so let's make that first. All right, we got a chest and chunks. Got a few chests. So chest and chunks gives us a few item interfaces. I really don't think I need more than this one because of the way that sophisticated storage is working. Now some cables, chunks, redstone, and sticks. Easy enough. Sure, let's make 6. There we go. Pop that on there and bring it on up. That'll be where the terminal can go, just about eye height. Looks perfect. And the storage terminal. And this is where we get into some of the more complicated things. Integrated dynamics is more than just a storage system. It does have some mechanical things that require power, but by and large, it is a programming language that you can use. That's why there are these input variables here. We've also got a logic programmer and variable stores and, well, other programming related things. And so with these things, you can make some really complicated contraptions that can have some intelligence about them, provide full logic evaluation about conditions, and take actions on it. That's way beyond where I'm going to be using this right now. I'm only after the storage, but we do have to create some of those things. So starting off, these variable cards are kind of fundamental to the other things. Oh, wow, that's going to make me 24 of them. That should be way more than enough. We need a piston and a sticky piston. Okay, well, I'll be right back once I've got that done. All right, that was easy. Input variable and output variable. Gives me 4 of each of those. All right, all of the other materials have been acquired, but there is one last special piece that needs to be made, and that is some mineral glass. Every mod pack seems to have its own variety of glass, it seems. Well, we throw that into the drying basin here, and I keep picking it up. I took the magnet off, and it doesn't seem to matter. Well, let's get some more mineral resin here, and then we'll throw in the glass, and hopefully I can time it right and not pick it up. There we go. Hopefully that'll do it. No! Oh, did that do it? No, it made crystal. Why am I picking it up? I took off the magnet. I guess just holding it is enough. All right, well, let's get rid of it and try this again. Okay, I think that should work. Hopefully. No, I still picked it up, and we got another block of. Oh, I need to place it in there. That's how. I'll get it right eventually. Sometimes these things take a lot of jumps to get it to finish squeezing. It's definitely not one step per jump. There we go. There we go. I think this is finally going to do it. Yes, mineral glass. Woohoo! All right. Well, now we can use this stuff to actually make the terminal. Do, 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 do. And yes, complete with a crafting grid and everything associated with it. And I did throw some of these things into a barrel while I was placing all of the barrels down in the basement. So yay, we got some storage with lots and lots of storage potential. And it wasn't that hard. Look at this down here, 3.8 million objects can potentially be stored with these barrels that I've got. 3.8 million. Wow. I think I will probably never run out of storage. But if I do, those barrels are really easy to just add more of. It's so simple. Now I get the really fun job of moving everything over into the storage system. And I bet, yep, everything just goes a flying. So it's not like I could pick up the entire barrel like a shulker and move it over easily. All right, well, that's going to be my job for a little while. There we go. Looks a little bit easier, but certainly a lot easier to access. And only 17,000 items in my storage system, with plenty of room for plenty more. That is a job well done. And all of the extra barrels and stuff that I just took out, well, we might as well just add them to the system right here. Boom, boom, boom. Got to make sure and load them up with all the upgrades as well. I really wish I could have moved them lock, stock, and barrel. Unfortunately, no can do. The whole process still went pretty easy though. There we go. There we go. Everything is all in place and working fine now. Such a simple and powerful combination. So easy to set up. Now I'm definitely going to be getting into something that requires some power generation, and we'll probably be doing that in the next episode, as well as some create stuff, because why not? I really feel like the progress of the server as a whole is going so much faster than I'm getting in these episodes. So we might come back and find a whole bunch of stuff has been done in between episodes. But for now, that is all we have the time for. I really hope you found this combination as exciting and interesting as I did. Well, with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider giving it a like. That would really, really help me out. And until next time, remember, be excellent to each other. I'm out.